I got a D in medical school, not because the content was too hard, not because I was overwhelmed, because I chose, consciously, deliberately, to skip class for an entire semester. The class was medicine and law, a class literally designed to teach future doctors how to not get sued. I skipped all of it just to learn Japanese. And I just passed JLPT N1. Before you say anything, yes, I know. My parents know, my advisor definitely knows. But here's the thing that nobody tells you about doing something completely irrational. Sometimes it works, and when it works, you learn something about yourself that no classroom could ever teach you. This is that story. If you're new here, I collect skills. Not casually, I mean I have a whole list. Languages, instruments, sports, skills that have absolutely no business being on a medical student's schedule. I got into Mensa. I've been documenting this entire Japanese journey on this channel, from barely reading hiragana to speaking for 100 days straight to grinding for N1. Today is the end of the Japanese chapter, and I want to tell you exactly how it went. The good parts, the embarrassing parts, and the 1D on my transcript that I will carry with me into my medical career forever. Let me put N1 in perspective because I think people underestimate it. N1 is the highest level of the Japanese language proficiency test. To pass, you need to read dense, native-level Japanese, newspapers, legal documents, literary fiction, at speed under exam pressure with no dictionary. Most dedicated learners take 3 to 5 years to get here. I started this journey barely being able to read hiragana. I gave myself 6 months. I had a vocab book, YouTube, textbooks, a med school schedule, and one catastrophically ignored law class. Okay, let's talk about my D, medicine and law. This is a core module, non-negotiable. The entire point of the class is to make sure that when you become a doctor, you understand your legal responsibilities so you don't end up in a wrong side of a malpractice case. It is objectively important class. I showed up to the classroom every single day with full intentions of paying attention. And every single day, without fail, I had my Japanese vocab book open under the desk instead. Or I was doing listening practice on my phone. Week 1, I'll review the material this weekend. Week 4, okay, I'll do a marathon session before the exam. Exam week, I did not do a marathon session. I got a D in the class about legal accountability while becoming fluent in Japanese. I'm not going to tell you it was the right call, but I will tell you this. I was not failing and learning that semester. I was doing some of the most focused, intense, joyful learning of my life, just in the completely wrong subject. And that gap between how I showed up for Japanese versus how I showed up for that class told me everything I needed to know about myself. Here's what the D actually taught me. Most people think learning is about discipline, about forcing yourself to grind through things you don't want to. And yes, sometimes it is. Med school is proof of that. But there's another kind of learning, the kind where you don't need discipline because you're already obsessed. Where you look up and 3 hours have passed and you didn't notice. Where the study session never felt like studying. That's what Japanese was for me. And once I understood that, I stopped feeling guilty about the D and started asking a different question. How to build a life where I get to feel that way as often as possible. This channel is my answer. So what actually got me to N1 in 6 months? 3 things. The vocab book, YouTube, and textbooks. I just kept memorizing vocabs and grammar structure and kept listening to Japanese videos. I just put all my time and focus into Japanese, leaving out med school courses. When I started this channel, collecting skills felt like a weird gimmick. Languages, instruments, sports, what does that even mean? Who does that? After passing N1, it doesn't feel like a gimmick anymore. It feels like a proof that I can continue on with this series. Anyways, Japanese is done. I said this channel's about collecting skills. Languages are one category, but there are others. See you in the next one.